What is going on, guys? PixCam20 back in with a brand new video. As you can see here, we are not in America anymore, as we have traveled over the big pond into the European lobbies, as we are doing our daily race here at Autodromo Nazionale Monza in the EMEA lobbies. As you can see, we are in pole position with a 156.8, as we were able to get our driver rating up to a E, which is the lowest safety or driver rating, and our safety rating up to a B. So working our way up, trying to get our driver rating up to at least an A here on the EMEA lobbies. Let's see what we can do here, as we are starting again in the pole. Have the Spaniard in second place, and I think it's the Austrian in third place. Not sure about my flag, so if you guys want to correct me on my flag knowledge in the comments down below, feel free to do that, as we are going to jump into our race. So before we jump into our race, if you guys really enjoy the content, please subscribe to the channel and leave a like on the video, as it really helps out the channel when you guys do so. Anyways, that is enough promoting myself. Let's jump straight into our first race. As we jump into the race now, we get our 3, 2, 1, and away we go now, as we try to get a great start. Shift our traction control from 1 to 0, as the Spaniard actually gets a better start than us now, as he's going side by side with us, heading into the first chicane. Going down the straight now, as we come to the first corner, we're going to brake as late as we can, try to outbrake the Spaniard, but he actually outbrakes us now. So we get into turn number 1, there's a car that flies right in front of our face, heads straight through the first chicane. Not sure exactly what happened there, as he looks like he honestly had no brakes going to the first chicane, but luckily the ghost was in our side, and we were able to just get around that without any incidents. Though although we did lose a position, we could have lost a lot more there, as we again got lucky that that car ghosted out. So coming out of the second chicane, going to Lesmo 1 for the very first time. We're staying right behind the Spaniard, as he goes a little bit wide coming out of Lesmo 1. He almost clips the dirt, and that would have been very, very helpful for us if he would have clipped the dirt, but he was able to keep it within the boundaries of the racetrack, and we're going to stay right behind him now as we follow down the slipstream, heading down into Ascari. So very, very crazy couple of corners, as we were able to again just avoid a lot of chaos. Staying right behind the Spaniard, we're moving on to the inside as we head to Ascari. Try to outbrake him going into the Ascari chicane, as he's able to hold it off on the outside. It's going to turn into the inside, and we got to back out of here, as this is going to be a single file exit here, and we have to do so here, as we allow the Spaniard to get right ahead of us. So following again on the toe, we're going to see if we can get around him going into Parabolica. As we move onto the left hand side, he's going to defend the inside as we head to Parabolica. Brake as late as we can. We're holding on the outside as we get a great entrance here, try to get a better exit, but unfortunately we just get onto the throttle a little too early, and we can see how much it affected us as we go very, very wide coming out of the corner. It actually ruins our momentum here, as the Spaniard's able to stay right next to us as we come down to the line, going into lap number 2, heading down the straight once again. We're staying side by side as we head into turn number 1, basically a replay of the first lap, as we're braking right after the 150 meter board, and the Spaniard's able to outbrake us, stay right ahead of us, and we're going to follow right behind him here as he gets a better exit on the first chicane, and we have to settle into second place. So on the second time, heading down to Ascari, we try to brake as late as we can, but the Spaniard's able to get a great corner entrance and exit here, as we're staying right behind him. But luckily we're in the slipstream, and the slipstream on this racetrack is very, very important and very, very drastic. So we're able to just catch up to him easily, shift onto the inside as he's going to go onto the outside. We're going to see if we can try to make an overtake going into Parabolica. Making a move onto the inside here, we are able to complete the pass, but he does cut back here as he gets a great exit, and he gets a great run going out of Parabolica as he has the momentum. Side by side once again as we come down to the lead. We're going to go into the third lap side by side like the couple of laps that we've been having previous, and we are still on the outside now as we're going to head into turn number 1 once again on the outside. Can we do anything here as we head to our braking zone? Right after the 150 meter board, we brake, stay on the outside here as it's going to shift onto the inside, and he's able to hold off the outside, get a great drive, and we have to settle back into second place once again as we jump into the end of lap number 3. So going into the end of lap number 3, things look a little bit different here as we just stay right behind the Spaniard. Don't try to make a move, as I decided to make an attempt to stay behind the slipstream, get a great run on the straight, and maybe we can try overtaking him before we even hit the first corner. As you can see, it's working out pretty well here as we were able to get a great exit off of Parabolica, stay in the slipstream, and look at the run we have here coming down to turn number 1. Are we going to be able to clear him as we head into turn number 1? We're braking very, very late as we head into the first chicane, and we are able to make the overtake there, complete the pass, park it on the apex, and we now have first place as we are actually starting to pull away from him here. Spread our gap here to about half a second, and we have to just focus on hitting our marks for one final time. Can we finish this race in first place on our first day of racing here on European lobbies? So heading to the second chicane, we brake as late as we can, try to clip the apexes. As you can see, the car right behind us got very, very close to us in the middle of the corner, but we were able to get a great exit. But unfortunately, heading down to Nascar, he was able to maximize the slipstream, and look how close he is now, as he is now all over our back bumper as we head into the final part of the Nascar. Coming out of a Nascar here, he's on our slipstream. As you can see, he gets a better exit than us, and he's actually moving on to the outside as we defend the inside. We did a very, very late move there, as we should have tried to cover the outside, but you can see now he is holding the outside here as we go side by side heading to Parabolica for the final time. Try to keep on to the inside. He pinches us down, and we actually lose a lot of momentum here as we try to get a better exit than him, get back onto the slipstream. But I think we're going to run out of time here. Side by side drag race to the line. Are we going to be able to get the first place? And unfortunately, we are not, as we have to settle for second place on our very first race. So really, really good competitive racing with the Spaniard, as I was not expecting to have such great races down in such a low lobby, but the Spaniard proved me wrong, and we were able to be 11 seconds clear from the third place driver. So let's see how we can do on our second race here. Jumping into our second race now, we are starting in 5th place for this lobby, as we are racing against some higher ranked players, as we have some A ranked drivers and B ranked drivers. Get our 3, 2, 1, we get the start. As you can see, the first place driver does not move, and we're able to take evasive action, go onto the inside of the first place driver, and get an easy 4th place now, as we set our sights now on the podium, heading to the first corner. Try to brake as early as we can to avoid making contact with the cars right ahead of us. We're able to get the car rode down as we make a little bit of contact with the British guy right behind us. He's able to overtake us as we are now making contact with the Italian. Italian forces us off the track as we are going side by side heading into Curva Grande, and we're going side by side with the Italian here. Can we get ahead of him before we head into the second chicane, as he's still making contact with us, forcing us down, and we almost make contact with him once again going to the second chicane, as we're going to defend the inside. Going to the second chicane, he finds a little space onto the inside, forces his way down there, and he ghosts right inside of us. So we got very, very lucky, as he almost pushed us out wide going into the second chicane, and he gets a half a second penalty, I believe, for corner cutting. So that's going to benefit us here as we head into Lesmo 1 now in 6th position. So a lot of drama going on this very first lap, just like the race previous. Heading to Lesmo number 2. Can we make up some time here on these guys ahead of us, as they do have to serve some penalties? The Italian has to serve his penalty, and so does the Spaniard right ahead of us, as we're now catching up to the Spaniard, getting onto the slipstream, shifting onto the outside to make a very late move heading into the Ascari. Try to outbrake him here as we head into the Ascari for the first time here, and we're able to make an easy overtake on the outside. And we are now setting our sights on the podium here, as one of the cars ahead of us has penalties here. So we are now in 4th place, setting our sights on the podium, as the Spaniard's trying to make a move onto the inside, heading to turn number 1. Going to turn number 1, the Spaniard is able to make a great overtake on us, as he does brake later than us and gets a great exit, as we have to settle right behind him in 5th place. Try to catch up to the podium here as we jump up into Lesmo 2. So on the second lap, coming out of Lesmo 2, the car ahead of us has to serve a penalty as we're coming down the straight into Ascari. The British driver shifts onto the inside. He actually unghosts himself, and the Spaniard runs into the back of the British driver. We run into the back of the Spaniard, and we make a little accordion effect here as the British driver gets a 1 second penalty for that move. And now we lose so much time to these guys right ahead of us, so we have to try to catch up to them before the race ends, as we are now coming out of Ascari, as we have a really big gap from us to the British driver. Let's see if we can try and make it up now as we jump into lap number 3. So on this Lesmo 2 here, on the 3rd lap here, we're staying right behind the British drivers. He does have to serve a 1 second penalty, but we were able to catch up to the top 2, go right into the penalty zone, make an easy overtake on the British as we just go inside his ghost. And you can see now we are setting our sights on the 3rd place driver and the 2nd place driver, as we have the podium right ahead of us. We're able to catch up to them, luckily. And let's see if we can try to capitalize on any mistakes if they make any as we come out of a Ascari chicane. So coming out of Ascari chicane, heading down the straight, we're going into Parabolica once again, as we're staying on the slipstream, staying right behind the 3rd place driver. We're going to see if we can try to make a move onto the outside and try to outbrake him going into Parabolica, but we're just a little too far back to make any type of move. but we do make some great runs here coming out of Parabolica, as the Spaniard does get a 1-second penalty, getting a great exit coming out of Parabolica. We're staying on the slipstream as we have a slipstream train here going down the straight, heading into the final lap. Can we make any magic happen here and go for the win, as we have the leader right in our sights? The Irish driver is able to block off the Spaniard here as we're coming to the inside into turn number 1. We back out of the throttle here as we avoid making contact with these guys right ahead of us. Take a little peek onto the outside of the Spaniard, but too optimistic, so we back out of there as the Spaniard gets a little bump to the Irishman, and he actually gets another second penalty for that bump. And the Croatian now is on the outside of the Spaniard, gonna probably have the inside here going into the second chicane. Again, we're just staying on the slipstream here as we head down to Curva Grande, coming out into the second chicane. What's going to happen here as the Spaniard's trying to make a look onto the inside? The Irishman gets through it cleanly as the Spaniard actually outbrakes himself, goes a little bit wide. Croatian makes contact with the Spaniard, and we are now going 3 wide as we head to Lesmo 1. Going 3 wide as we make a move onto the inside. One of us is going to have to give, as 3 cars did not go well into Lesmo 1, and we have to back out to make a little bit of contact with the Croatian, but we are on the inside now of the Irishman. Can we make the overtake going into Lesmo 2? We make a little bit of contact with the Irishman, and we're able to do so here as we are now promoted into 3rd place, and the Spaniard has to serve his 2-second penalty. So going on to the inside of the Spaniard, we're able to capitalize on the penalty here as a couple of cars behind us are making contact, and that's going to benefit us as we're making a little bit of a gap from us to 3rd place, as we are now in the podium somehow, heading into Ascari. Outbreak ourselves going into our Ascari, kind of destroys our run here as we come out of the exit right ahead of 3rd place, and luckily we're able to just pull away ever so slightly from the 3rd place driver, but he is going to have the slipstream as we head down the straight for the final time, leading us into Parabolica. Staying on the outside here, we're not going to cover the inside as the 3rd place driver is just a little too far as we try to break as late as we can, and we're able to do so here as we are setting our sights on the Croatian in 1st place. But unfortunately, we're just a little too far back as we're going to run out of time, finish this race in 2nd place. And 2 for 2 here in the European lobbies as we were able to get 2 2nd place finishes and some incredible racing here, as we had a great race with the Spaniard in the first race, and we had some awesome close side-by-side racing with some of the guys in this lobby too. So we're making a lot of progress to driver rating A, as that is my goal, to get into DRA or A+ in the European lobbies. And hopefully we can do so here before GT7 comes out. And luckily right now we are making some really great progress, as we are currently almost in driver rating B, so we only need a couple more races here. We should be able to get to B rating, and then next would be A, and then A+. So yeah, I'm having a lot of fun in this European lobbies. A lot of great close racing I've been able to have with them, and it's a lot of clean races. I know a lot of people have been saying that there's not a lot of clean racing that goes on no matter where you are, whether it's European, American, or Asia, but right now I'm just having a lot of fun here and having a lot of good competitive clean racing. So hopefully we can keep that up as we progress forward into our driver rating A and A+. So hope you guys found this video very entertaining. If you guys did, again, please subscribe to the channel and leave a like on the video, as it really helps out the channel when you guys do so. And if you guys found this video very entertaining, I hope to see you guys on the next one. Peace out.